Hey folks, today we're going to show you how to migrate your NX workspace to the latest version. Now NX 16 just came out and I wanted to show y'all a real world example of doing a migration on an existing project. So I've actually got Tanstack Query pulled up. This is a project that I've been contributing to a little bit on the side here. And if we open up their package.json file, we can see that they're already using NX. And we can see NX is being used for several of the scripts. And when we come into the dependencies, we'll also see that they're using the NX Cloud package as well as the NX package down here. So let's get started on the migration. To start, I'm actually going to check out a new branch here. We'll call it NX 16 migration. Cool, and now I'm just going to run the command Nx Migrate and give it the option here, latest. So this is telling the Nx Migrate to migrate us to the version marked as latest in npm. So we'll hit enter here, and the migration script is going to go out and fetch us all of our new packages according to the latest versions. And there we go, the migrate command just finished successfully, and we can see our package.json was updated and a migrations.json file was generated for us as well. Let's take a look at the package.json first. So looking at this comparison here, we can see that pretty much what we did was update the dependency here to point to the latest version of NX Cloud. If we scroll down here, we can see we also updated to the latest version of NX. So cool. Let's check out the migrations.json file next. Now this migrations.json file is describing to us 3 different migrations that we can run on our workspace now. So each one of these is actually running a NX generator that's going to make some alterations to the actual source code of our project. I'll take a look at them here real quick, and they all seem fine. So I'm going to open up my terminal again, and here we can run the command Nx Migrate, and we'll use the option here, run-migrations. So we'll hit enter on that. And once it's all finished, NX is telling us here that it successfully ran all the migrations here from the migrations.json file, and our workspace is up to date. We can see in our source control here the various files that were touched. So inside of the nx.json file here, we can see the runner was updated to just use NX Cloud, no longer scoped to @narwhal. And if we go to our package.json file, we can see we've removed the @narwhal NX Cloud package, and we've added the unscoped NX Cloud package here. There's also been a change to our pm lock, so that looks fine. So before we take our next step, I'm actually going to run the command we run in CI so I can test locally to make sure everything's working fine before we go ahead and commit this. So I'm going to run the command here, pm test CI. This is going to go run an affected command that's going to run all of the tests that we have set up to make sure everything's looking fine before pushing this up. So we'll give that a little bit to run. And there we go, looks like we're all set. So I'm going to add a commit note here. And actually, before I hit run on that, I'm actually going to come in and remove the migrations.json file here, because once we've run it, we really don't need to keep it around inside of the workspace anymore. So we'll go ahead and run our commit, and I'm going to push this up to my remote. Perfect. Now I'm going to open this up in GitHub, add a quick note here, and create the pull request. And there we go. We've already set up this repository with most of the standard automated checks. So I'm going to go ahead and check this out inside of NX Cloud as soon as we get our comment. So we actually had an issue there with the log file not matching. So I just added a quick commit here to fix that. And now we should be able to see some progress here. And there we go. We just got the comment here. So we can now track the status of our CI pipeline here in NX Cloud. So I'm going to click into that. So right now we're looking at the UI for NX Cloud's distributed task execution. We can see in the middle, this is the orchestrator. And we can see it's orchestrating by actually distributing its tasks among 4 other agents. Now these are 4 other machines that have all cloned down the repo and the dependencies, and now they're just standing by to receive commands from the orchestrator, and they'll go and dutifully do their jobs. But we'll skip ahead a bit so we can see the results. So I'll fast forward a little bit now. Cool, so there we go. Looks like everything passed as we expected it to. And now coming back to our pull request, we can see the NX Cloud report is all set up. We can see we got our green check, so we know everything passed in terms of our tasks here. And coming down to the bottom of the pull request, we can see all of the other checks that also passed. I think there's some stuff we're doing here with Vercel and Code Sandbox in order to have some further sanity checks that things are working as expected. So yeah, that's it. We're all set. For the most part, this was pretty uneventful because of the tooling that we've built into into Nx Migrate. One thing to know is that Tanstack Query is an open source project, so they're actually using a package-based approach to their Nx setup. This means they're using features from Nx like distributed task execution and task caching from Nx, but we're actually not using Nx plugins inside of this project. Now, if you are using Nx plugins, there's a high likelihood that you'll see more migrations in your migrations.json file than we saw in this project. And part of that is we've also included migrations to migrate you from our prior namespace of @narwhal to our new namespace @nx. Also, for people using our plugins, we actually know where a lot of your assets live in terms of your config files and whatnot. So we can move those around and make changes inside of those files as necessary for the new Nx version. So there's some added benefits there as well. One last thing to mention for any Nx Angular users, be sure to check out the video on using the --interactive flag with the Nx migrate command as well. The interactive flag will give you the ability to migrate your Nx version without actually touching your Angular version. We've gone through the work of decoupling Nx from Angular, so when you do an Nx migrate, you don't actually have to migrate your Angular version as well. Given the work that we've done on this feature for Angular, we're also hoping to bring this to React so we can support both legacy and current versions of React in the future as well. So that's a real world example of using Nx Migrate out there with a real project. Hope that this was valuable. Let me know in the comments if you had any questions or concerns, or if something's not working to you. You can also reach out to us on our Twitter account @NXDevTools. Keep working hard, y'all, and we'll see you next time.